Good morning, Kendall Kids, and welcome to your Monday, April 12th. Today is, well, guess what? It's called Big Wind Day. National Big Wind Day is kind of an odd one because it is actually about a specific weather event. What ended up happening is this day in history, on Mount Washington in New Hampshire, the strongest gust of wind in recorded history was recorded. It was actually the strongest until about 1996, and I'll tell you about one that just barely eked out the win on that. But really, this still holds true as one of the most kind of the heaviest sustained winds naturally occurring without like a singular weather event. In Mount Washington Observatory at the time in 1936, when this weather event was recorded, was basically just a shed or shack near the top of the mountain. And it's really amazing that did not itself completely blow away in this wind because it was extremely strong. I'll tell you just how strong in a moment. But you can see originally at the top of the mountain, they built this thing called the Tip Top House. Now, the Tip Top House worked as a weather and climate observatory, but not really that officially. People just basically wrote down how windy and how cold it was at the top. And so you can see right here, it seems like people are just kind of meandering around and walking up. I'll let you know, this is the middle of the summer when the winds aren't quite as bad. And on top of that, it's not so bitter cold up there. But you can see the house is made out of stone. It's fairly squat and small, and there's a good reason for that. Over time, they did build it up and make it a little bit more official, and it actually acted as a hotel. But the reason why it had to be made out of stone like that is because at the top of that mountain, you basically have to be building a bunker. Now, the modern version of the observatory is not the Tip Top House. The Tip Top House is still there, but as just kind of more of an artifact. And now there's this giant concrete bunker that serves both as a museum and as an observatory for weather. And you can see that, I mean, it's pretty castle-like. It's built to be kind of a fortress. And the reason being, those top sustained winds were 231 miles per hour. Now, to put that in perspective, major hurricanes and storms blow at gusts between 65 all the way up to maybe 75, 85 miles per hour to do some major damage. So at 231 miles per hour, you're talking about winds that you cannot walk out in and that most buildings would succumb to pretty quickly. But this building is built to withstand a lot of really heavy winds because it does on a regular basis. It also serves as a museum to educate people about weather and about wind and the power of wind. And at the top during the winter, it gets cold. It's sometimes recorded to have been at negative 49 degrees with the wind chill. So that's pretty crazy. If you have any exposed skin at that temperature, you're going to suffer frostbite very quickly. And so scientists trade off time up at the observatory to record weather. And then in terms of over a long term, they've actually created quite a bit of climate history this way. And it's great because it's actually where three main weather fronts converge. And to tell you a little bit more about that and to show you how extremely windy it is, I'm going to show you a short video clip about it.
This is New Hampshire's Mount Washington on a pleasant summer day. Don't be fooled. At 6,288 feet, it's the highest mountain in the northeastern U.S. and home to some of the world's most extreme weather. That's Tom Padham, one of the weather watchers at the Mount Washington Observatory. The winds on that brutal November day were gusting up to 105 miles per hour, with a wind chill of minus 40 Fahrenheit. Think that's crazy? The summit of Mount Washington in April 1934 recorded a gust of 231 miles per hour, setting a world record that's been topped only once since then. So why is the weather here so extreme? For one thing, the prevailing winds at 6,000 feet haven't had any obstacles to slow them down for 1,000 miles or more. And when those winds reach New Hampshire, they hit a wall of mountains, and that wall forms a funnel with a focal point right at Mount Washington. On top of that, three major storm tracks converge there, all of which makes for some seriously dangerous weather all year round.
Well, now that you guys can see how extremely windy it can get up there, and if you can imagine double that for the highest recorded wind, you can understand why that'd be a little bit scary. But anyways, it's not all bad. Think about working up there. This is the view from your office, so definitely not the worst. So having known all of that and learning a little bit of something today, we put our hands over our hearts, find the flag in the room, and Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. All right, Kendall Kids, let's talk just a little bit about that food today. Today we have a turkey sandwich, or pizza crunchers, along with sauce, corn, apple, and milk. Well, what's going on with that weather today? I think you guys probably know it has been rainy, and it will continue to be rainy for all of today. So we've had basically a whole day of rain yesterday on Sunday, and it's going to continue today, basically unabated. And then we're looking at some chances of rain throughout the rest of the week. So we're definitely getting those April showers finally. We are well deserved for them. We've been very much under our average rainfall up until now. But if you want to look at the weather coming in, it is these bands of rain. So you can expect it'll come in waves. So if you notice the rain letting up, don't expect it to stay dry for too long, especially today. But, the rain's not that big or not a bad thing. We definitely need it for those plants to come back and to get that lush green feel of spring. So it will be beautiful coming up. But if you notice, though, for later in the week, we are going to be dipping in temperatures on Thursday with another storm front coming in then. But there are going to be peaks of sun, and, the temperatures will not be that bad. It'll be pretty mild in the mid-50s. So, not all the worst news. Anyways, let's end our mission announcements, the mission statement. The mission of the Kendall Central School District is to provide the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes needed by students to live responsibly and to compete successfully in today's and tomorrow's world. Hope you guys have a marvelous Monday, and if I don't get a chance to see you, remember to stay colorful, Kendall.